All right, intermediate experienced guitarists. I want to talk to you very quickly about chords, movable bar chords based on the A and the E shape. So I'm going to show you 4 positions on the E string, and I'm going to show you 4 positions on the A string. And then your job is to know the notes up until the 12th fret, and you can move those 4 and 4 chords anywhere up and down the fretboard to achieve a combination of up to 96 chords. It's really the key to unlocking the fretboard and all of those chord structures. So let's get started. So the first, I want to show you all of the E shapes. There's 4 E shapes I want to show you, and I'm just going to have my hand right here in the 5th position as I show them to you. The first shape is a major chord, and the major chord is based off of these 3 fingers making a major chord that looks exactly like E major. So if that's E major, whenever I move it up, it's still a major chord. I'm hitting all 6 strings, and depending on what note this index pointer finger is on the E string, that's the major chord I'm playing. E, G, B, C, A, D. It doesn't matter. Whatever note this is on, major chord. The minor chord variation is dead simple. I take my index or my middle I love you finger off, and I still play all 6 strings. Minors. Minors. Whatever note this finger is on, the low E string, that's the minor chord. So I've got C, A sharp, F sharp, G, A, wherever this note is with a minor chord. The 7th chord is to play, and it looks like this here. I'll see how close I can get there. My index, or my middle I love you finger is on, we'll call it the 1st fret, because it's the 1st fret away from this new barred finger, on the G string. My ring finger is on the 2nd fret of the A string, and my index pointer, or sorry, my ring finger is on the 3rd fret of the B string. So it's kind of a stretch, but it sounds quite nice. 7, and again, this finger tells the tale. B, 7, G, 7, D, 7, E, 7 off of the 12th. And then the minor 7, there's 2 ways to play it. I may have gotten a little bit of confusion when we did this note in class, but the simplest way is just this. That is just a ring finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. So it's like a minor chord, but lift up your pinky. That is the simplest way. A slightly more filling sound is to get that 7th diminished note, to take this pinky and put it onto the 3rd fret, like this. So my middle finger is just up. I've got this as my barred finger, and that's the note, that's the chord. And then my pinky is down here on the B string. So B minor 7, G minor 7. So that's pretty straightforward. 4 E shapes, major, minor, major 7, or 7 I should say, and minor 7, or minor 7. And so we'll move on to the A shapes. There's the same thing. There's 4 A shapes. Now this time I'm going to use this finger here as a bar, but I'm only going to bar 5 strings. I'm not worried about this lowest E string. So I generally use this finger, and it kills that string because I place it here so the tip of the finger is touching that low E string. And then I make my chords from there. The major chord, a movable major chord based off of the A string, is the toughest of the barred chords, I believe. And here I am starting on the 5th fret. I am playing like an A major chord. I've got to be able to cover 3 strings with 2 fingers, and one of them is my pinky, which is a hard finger to get a lot out of. So I'm here on the 5th fret, I'm barred, and I'm I'm then going onto the second fret for the D, G, and B strings. It's harder on acoustic guitar as well. So there's D, because now I'm counting notes off of this string. D major, C major, G major, E major, F, wherever this note is, that's a major chord. The minor chord is significantly easier, and it looks like an A minor, but moved up. D sharp minor. You will recognize this chord from B minor. You probably recognize it anyway. Sorry, I played that incorrectly. There's the B minor chord right there. D minor, D sharp minor, F sharp, G. Wherever I'm playing a minor chord, barring it, getting to this note, that's the chord. C minor. The seventh chord looks like this. My ring and my pinky finger are on the second fret, and between them, this G string is open to the new bar. So I've got a space that and that. There's one string between. The G string is not being fretted. And my middle finger is just up. C7. E7, F7, G7, A7 again. The minor seventh chord looks like this. I'm playing a minor seventh on the A shape. So my index pointer finger, or I always say that, my middle finger is on the first fret of the B string, and my ring finger is on the second fret of the fourth string, and I'm hitting 5 like that. So I've got those 4 shapes as well. Major, minor, seventh, minor seventh. And if I'm moving it around, counting off of the A string, I've got another whole bunch of chords there. So this is exceptionally useful when you're playing songs like we've been maybe talking about in class right now, where lots of chord progressions with some weird sharps and sevenths and minor sevenths, but you can find them very easily with those 4 shapes on the E, 4 shapes on the A, and the 12 notes up on the low E and A strings. If that doesn't make sense or you need any help, please, please, please come and ask me.